to run like your sacking depends upon it. And don't forget your 3 J's. Jump, jump, jump. Give the action button a short, sharp press for a small hop, or hold it down for a huge, boundy leap. On you go.
Hello, I'm here to review games. Which games? Video games. Okay, I can write into that. I just can't do intros. Now, I'm here to review Little Big Planet, but first, its history. Little Big Planet started out as a game called Craft Worlds with its protagonist named Mr. Yellowhead. It was actually unlockable after you beat the final level of the game without dying. The game had a similar concept of physics-based puzzle platformer, but it was completely different in structure. I won't go into any more than that. They showed the game to Sony with a live demo. In the demo, they toned down the creative aspect they had planned for the game. Sony Worldwide's head of entertainment, Phil Harrison, found it interesting. The game pitch went on for 2.5 hours longer than expected, with Sony funding the game for 6 months. After 6 months and 4 drastic design changes later, Media Molecule was called back to Sony to show progress on the game. After their presentation, Sony proposed a deal. Sony would continue to fund the game, but it had to be PlayStation 3 exclusive, and they had to own the rights to the IP, now called Little Big Planet, and Media Molecule had to become a part of Sony. Media Molecule accepted, and they became a part of Sony in February of 2006. The reason I wanted to tell you all this is because this game has an extreme amount of Sony involvement behind it. Well, I'm glad about that, because the game probably wouldn't be that good. Before I get into what I like about the game, we need to talk about its plot. The creator wants to remove all the creativity and characters in the world of Little Big Planet. So you must venture through all the worlds in the game. The story is good for what it is trying to be, but if the gameplay holds up, I don't mind. Little Big Planet is a physics-based puzzle platforming game, and it does that successfully. This game is a 2D platformer where you can switch in between 3 different layers by pressing up or down on the left stick. When jumping to a new platform, simply jump towards the platform and the game will switch you to the layer it's on. So sometimes, for some reason or another, that won't work. The game uses real-time physics, so be aware, everything really rocks and rolls. Boulders speed up going downhill, and they slow down going uphill. You have a very floaty jump, but the game is based around that jump, so it's okay. And of course, all this works in multiplayer. Speaking of that, the multiplayer is great. Unlike Mario, players don't jump off each other and into bottomless pits. Where other games slow multiplayer progression by co-op players staying back too far, Little Big Planet allows you to just drag them ahead a bit until they get the hint. Other than that, it's your standard platformer. Where it makes itself unique is in the presentation. The presentation is friendly. The graphics are realistic, but not in the way Call of Duty characters look. Little Big Planet's playable characters are Sackboy and or Sackgirl. This is a fabric world with incredibly realistic tech. Sackboy and Sackgirls look like real cloth sacks. Customizing them is easy and fun. You can also stick stickers everywhere. However, there is a limit to how many you can have at once. Stephen Fry does the voiceover for the intro levels and all the level creation tutorials, and I love his voice. It fits. The music is really good, but it gets annoying after you die. And trust me, you will die. A lot. This game is hard. Game overs are abundant. Happily, there's no annoying "you're dead" fanfare that tells you how much you failed. Instead, you die and restart at the last checkpoint with one of your 4 lives down. In multiplayer, you die fast, but every level has a lot of checkpoints, so it's not a problem unless you and your partner suck at the game. I could talk about the level creator and internet sharing since it was one of the main selling points of the game, but while I think both of them are good, I am not into the creation of custom levels. After replaying Little Big Planet, I remember how much I enjoyed it. Little Big Planet has great level design, a great aesthetic, and a great team behind it. I recommend this game to anybody who has a PlayStation 3. Now, I know it's not enjoyable to have an internet reviewer who's not screaming and cussing throughout the entire video, but I'm not that kind of person. I will not give this game a rating. I will just say if I recommend it or not. And I recommend Little Big Planet. I'd like to say thank you for watching, take care, and game on. Stephen Fry does the voiceover for the intro level and all the level creation tutorials, and excuse me.